Hey everyone, welcome back to Logic Bombs. This time, let's go into row 9. Interesting, we have the right and left side completely filled, and we know that none of these bombs can basically hit anything on the sides. What does that mean for our puzzle solving skills? Well, we know for a fact there's going to be a wall here and a wall here to stop these two bombs from colliding. Any other obvious bomb collisions, there will be a wall somewhere in there and somewhere in here to stop bomb collisions, but that's not going to stop how we solve or approach the puzzle. So, what else ought we to know? What do we know? That seems wrong as well. How far off am I? 6 plus wrong! Oh no! Let's move on to the next one. That's all empty. 34, 32. Therefore, there are two walls somewhere in those question mark rows. Which means that one of these bombs is going to get every single monster in its row. If we only have enough for, say, that, for example, yep, you got to get all of those. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why I put that like that. I saw the 0 and I put it all down like that. Nope, that's incorrect. We know for a fact there have to be walls between them to stop these slimes from interacting with every other slime in the area. We also know that those are completely blocked off. Thank you, game. Let's see. That's all empty. Heard. Looking around. Is there an obvious first step? We can't have this, because then these slimes will touch like that. Therefore, there's got to be a slime. There's got to be a wall somewhere in this group of 3 to stop these two particular guys from touching. But also if... Can we have that acceptably? Yes. Can we have this? Nope, we can't have that. The slimes will touch. Therefore, we need to block this slime from touching this guy and this slime from touching this guy by having like a block there and a block there. Thinking about it, if we have both of these open, then we can't block off both sides of this to stop this guy from being hit. Yeah, that would be unviable. We basically can't have what I'm saying here is that there has to be a wall on one of these guys' sides and one on one of these guys' sides, because I think no matter what, we can't block one guy off entirely. We can only block off one side for each, and that'll mean 2 of these guys get marked off before they can even go anywhere, which means that 2 of these columns are going to have their guy like here, and one's going to be open. Interesting. Yeah, so they're going to be up here, 2 of them. That also means this is open air right there. Is anything else of this sort worth exploring? Oh, we are 1 away from solving this particular column. We're 1 air block away. You put that there, and then boom, we solve all of this. What happens if the air block is there? That gets blocked off. No, we can't have, okay, we previously established that this row, there's going to be some blocks up here. Because of this earlier thing, because it's 34 versus 32, That means there's only 2 blocks in all of the question mark columns combined. And those blocks have to be up top. They have to block off like this or something like that. And the other one is going to be entirely unencumbered. It's going to have no blocks in it. It's going to hit every single one in that column. What that means is we can't have the airspace here, for example, because then that blocks it off here, which is not possible. There are going to be no blocks in the lower part of these monster areas. Therefore, that's going to be filled. Same thing here. That's going to be filled. Does that get us anywhere? It gets us one closer. Oh, we can just fill all these in as air, by the way, because we know that none of them are going to be filled with a block for reasons we previously laid out. Does that tell us anything inventively new? I don't think so. Not quite yet, at least. We also got to think about how we're going to stop these slimes from interacting. I wonder. Okay. Looking around, though, I mean, we're one away from solving that particular column. We're close in a lot of regards. Let's do a thought experiment. What if this column is the one that is entirely filled? Or the one that is entirely handled by this top guy here. That's going to require us to block off boom, 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 boom. Which we cannot do because this is a 3 column. Therefore, that has to have a block there. What if this guy is it? We can block off all of those. Yep, perfect. There's 5 there. What if it's this guy? Can we block off all of these? No, we cannot because there's only 2 in that column. Therefore, this one has to be open. This one has to be blocked. Wall, 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 wall. One of you is getting these middle guys, left or right. Don't know which one yet. We'll find out soon enough, I guess. No, you have to get all of these guys, and you have to get all of these guys. Because no one else is going to get our friend over here. You're entirely filled. How does that influence the rest of the puzzle? Well, we have our slimes zones figured out. We don't need to worry about slimes being blocked off. This slime is going to come around like this, which then means this column is solved. What does that tell us? That tells us all this is solved. We're getting close. What is the last, 2 or 3 blocks here? Oh, this row is solved. Oops, didn't spot that. How about this row? Ooh, almost solved. One of those and one of these. Well, it can't be that because I'll block off our friend here. Therefore, it goes like that, which solves that, which puts that there, and we're solved. I'm a big fan of how whenever we solve it, it gives us a little heart in the top left. It's a funny little bit of repurposing the less than 3 icon into a little message for anyone who solves a puzzle. It's cute. 20 and 8. Ooh, so this is at most 24. At most 24 in this bottom left one. Which means there's, something like 8 minus 24 is 16 to 12 walls in this whole middle section. Are there any obvious, oop, we gotta put a wall there to stop bombs from colliding kind of thing? If we want Y to hit that, we have to put all those there. So like that, and the same thing is true over here, like that. It would look like this. Is that immediately provably wrong in some way? I don't think so, just worth keeping in mind. Otherwise, y will do nothing. Looking at it, what can each of these variables be? I mean, I think x can be 0, y can be 1, and z can be 2 everywhere, right? Is there anywhere where z can't be 2? Yeah, z can be 2 everywhere, I think. Nothing wrong with z being 2. Again, looking for something to disprove that. Z being 2. Okay, what about if x is, like, way more? I think no matter what, actually, now that I'm looking at this, let's suppose that, we go back to square one. X gets both of these. Then both y and z are equal to 0, which is invalid for the rules of the game. If x is 0, doesn't get any of these guys, then y has to be 1 either way. No matter what, y is going to be 1. An attack like this. Just no matter what, it's going to be filled up like that at least a bit. Great. That means x has to be like this, because otherwise it'll be blocked off its own little zone, which is absolutely no good. Meaning z is equal to 0. Z is 0. We have to block off z from hitting everything we can. Blocked. What's next? There's something obvious, I know it. Let's talk about the slimes for a second. There's 2 distinct slime zones, they can't intersect, yada yada. How do we block them from intersecting? Which bombs are they intuitively or naturally going to touch? Oh, those are walled, sorry. That means that this is 22 total, which means there are 22 minus 8 is 14. There are 14 total walls in this middle section. 2 on each side of each z, which is 12 total. So then presumably 1 more on these side sections. Okay, looking at this, what else ought we to know? I guess we can start figuring out where we can't place blocks, because then they'll, like, connect the slimes up. Yeah, wait, okay, so there's 14. There have to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 12 total. And then there's already 2 here. 1, 2. That's 14 total. We know that those are completely empty for that reason. We can't even begin to use those, because otherwise... Okay, blocked off. Oh, actually, no. We don't know if that's going to be in the middle or not yet. It's okay. I wasn't explaining myself very clearly there. Basically, we know from doing all this math here, there are 22 in this section, in the rows. 22 minus 8 is 14. We know for a fact there have to be 1 on each side of these bombs to stop them from colliding with the monsters. There are 6 Z bombs, therefore that's 12 already. The other 2 are accounted for in these 2 spots here. Therefore, there are already 14 bombs. There are 14 bombs accounted for. Anything that is not a bomb on either side of the Z has to just be automatically assumed to be empty. And the rest of these rows are empty because they already have the walls accounted for here and here. Wall there, What's next? What's next? What can't touch? Oh, you are solved like that to stop those from colliding with the monsters. Then you are there to stop from colliding with the monsters as well. And that tells us nearly everything we need to know. We now have the slimes in 2 distinct zones. I believe that's the solution. Perfect. Tremendous. Moving on to level 4 of this particular row. B, A, X, Y. They correspond to bombs down here. 18 total, not including the B's and A's. Great. We know that they have to look like this because the slimes can't touch. Therefore, we have this already worked out. Whoever gets this is going to get all of them. Therefore, A or B is guaranteed to be at least 3. X or A, honestly, any of them except for Y is guaranteed to be at least 3. Not guaranteed to be. Unless A is 0 somehow. A is guaranteed to be at least 3. I keep saying that. That doesn't actually mean anything. Let's, we can't have walls there and there. Therefore, one of these is open. Same goes. Those are open like that. Meaning A and B are at least 1 each. So A is going to attack either this way or this way. B is going to attack either this way or this way. Yay. 3. Oh, 6. We're almost done with this column entirely. We've almost got that one worked out. What else do we or can we know? Not much, it seems. Oh, we gotta wall off those to make sure the 2 slime groups don't touch. Oh, that solves that for us. And that tells us not much, I don't think. Though we're getting more and more information. This is overall a good thing. It's going quickly, it seems. Okay, let's think about these slime groups for a second. I think it's pretty clear we're going to end up with A blocked off in some manner, like this, or something like that. A is only going to attack this group up here or this group over here. It's not going to get both. Let's just say A attacks here, B attacks here. Y... Ooh, okay. We know that 2 bombs can't be 0 because no variable can have the same value as another variable. We also know that A and B are going to be equal to X and Y, which means the totals thereof, as in X plus Y is equal to A plus B, because otherwise these summations don't work. So, for example, we can't have A get this and B get that, and then X gets those 2, because that makes them unequal number of monsters. It'll be 6 versus 4. So, X and Y are collectively going to get 1 group of 2 and 1 group of 3. And A and B are collectively going to get 1 group of 3 and 1 group of 2 to make them even. Y can only get a group of 2. X can get a group of 3 and a group of 2. A can only get groups of 3. They're going to get one of these. And B can only get 3 and 2. There's a lot to say here. We know for a fact A has to get at least one of these because A is going to be equal to at least 1 based on the placement of this wall here. Therefore, does it make sense for A to go here? That could work. X could be 2, Y could be 0, B could be like a bajillion. Okay. How about A goes here? Then B is 2, then Y is 0, and X is a bajillion. Okay, great. Either way it works. Just laying out all the things that we absolutely know to be fact in this particular puzzle. Oh, B is also required to be more than 1. Look at this. B has to also get something. If we do this, and then by default B has to get this, and then also get that, but that'd be equal to way more than X and Y combined. Let's say we do this, and B has to get that, then Y is 0 and X is that. I think we now know for a fact A cannot be this, because there's no way to square the circle here. Yeah, there's no way to square the circle. There's no way for X to get access to a group of 3. Blocks there, goes there. B has to be that. Y gets blocked. And then X gets both of these, because if Y gets this group, then it's going to be the same as B, which we can't have. Great. Let's work out all the implications of that particular string of ideas then. Once I can figure out what the implications are. Well, Y is 0. We know that. Which tells us this particular column is solved. That solves this row for us, which then solves I'll try that again, which then solves that column for us. Oh, this whole thing is, no, X is 5. It's almost solved. We know there's a wall here somewhere. We have to have a wall in there. Potentially both, but certainly at least one. What else do we for sure know? We can't have both of these blocked off because it creates a separate zone for Y, so that goes there. And then that has to go there as well to make sure that we don't have a separate zone there, which solves this because A is equal to 3, which X is equal to like 5, so who knows? B is equal to 2. We've almost solved B here. Almost. It'll click through in like a second, I promise. Ah, we get 2 more here. Fun. 3. One of these is open. There's 2 more in this one. Oh, that's solved. Oops, that's been solved. Okay, great. Does that tell us anything? Not. That tells us here we can't put the wall here because B is equal to 2, so that would solve this row. But that leaves a little pocket here. Therefore, the pocket has to go there, which solves that for us, which makes all of that empty, which solves that, which... Oh, man. How much is wrong? Fewer than 3 is wrong. Okay, we can figure this out. Oh, there we go. I just went fast and inversed the order of what I meant to do. Next level. 9 and 9. We know that all these are empty because there has to be blocks here to stop the ones from hitting the slime. So all this is filled in. taking a look at this, we know that there's only 2 walls in this section. We can't block a guy off entirely. I guess we could. We can't block him off entirely. He has to do like that. We could block him off entirely, but if we do, then he gets both. That's no good. We can't have both be open because then he'll attack both. I think that therefore means we have to have one wall around each bomb, somewhere like that or like this. And that means this bottom section is an open space. The same thing is true here. This is an open space for the exact same reasons. Can either of these guys get him? No, I don't think so. If we get him, that leaves both of those open, which is no good. And if we get both of them and he gets him, same thing. He gets both of these guys, which is no good. Therefore, we have to block off on both ends here. And I guess one of these two has to get this monster here. There's a wall there too, and a wall here. Oops. If one of these guys has to get this monster in the middle, then that's open. Because otherwise, other one has to get blocked off. If, say, for example, that. What else do we know? I think we might know. We might know that this is a wall because we do this. Is there any way to not have this guy? Oh, this guy has to hit one of these monsters, right? So 2 of these have to be open. The other one, that leaves only 3 spots to be filled. Therefore, this has to be a wall. We go like that. We go like this. Either way, whether we block off like this or block off like this, all of these are going to be exposed if we do that. Yeah, look at that. All of these will be exposed, which would force us to block this and this and this and this potentially. If we do this, because then you have to get him. That's too far ahead, I think, to actually work out. Either way, we know that that's a wall right there. Is anything similarly true here? You could get him, which would force us to block off both like that. Could you get him? And then you get him, then you get him, then you get him. Yeah, I guess you could. Okay. How about here? Can either of these guys? No, neither of these guys can get this guy in the middle. Right. And then you have to get either him or a guy on the side. Ugh, I'm not having an easy time figuring out this one. Here's something, though. There's only one more wall. Oh, there's 2 walls in here. I lied. Never mind. Okay, you have to get one of these guys. You get him, which, let's say you get him. Walls, all of this gets revealed. You have to get him blocked off there. Then you have to get either him or him, like, you know, one of these. Let's say you get this guy. Therefore, you're blocked off there. The other one has to get him. And you get this guy. Ooh, that's not going to work. Because if we do this, there's for sure a wall there. There's guaranteed to be a wall somewhere in here, forcing him to get the other guy instead. You have to block off this and this. That's too many walls to effectively block it off. Therefore, we instead have to block off this side. Wait, no, sorry. We have to do this instead. Yeah, this is the correct way to approach it instead. What does that tell us? There's a wall there to stop this guy from hitting the slime. You have to get him. Wall. You have to get one of these, which means no matter what, there's a wall there. And one of these is open to attack the one you don't get. Either way, let's say you get him, then you have to get this guy to stop him, to get the guy that he is unable to get anymore. And you have to get... Okay, if you get him, and you get him, then you have to get him... No. The only option you have right now is you get him, and these guys work out who's going to get who down here. Because you can get him or him, you can get him or him, and these guys are going to... Oh, are these guys going to trade, potentially? No, they're not. But either way, we got to figure out what's going to happen down here. We know that these are open because the wall is going to go either here or here. One of those two. So all this is open. What else do we or ought we know? We know this guy has to be blocked off on at least one side, so this is open, which then forces all of this to be walls, which then solves this and this for us, which then tells us what? You're blocked off there. All that is solved. You're blocked off here. Wall. Wall. You get him. You get him. Empty, empty. And now there's just a few more walls to place along here. You have to go there because the slime has to be able to escape. We can't have him like this. Therefore, the rest go here. Perfect. Tremendous. Let's move on to the next one. N, the variable N. We just don't know how many that guy's going to get. Cool. Okay, slime. There's one big group for all the slime. Yay. We don't need to come up with any slime shenanigans here. We know that if this guy gets here, then this is just a solved row for us. And then we have to have basically all of... We couldn't have the wall here or anywhere here to stop this part from getting blocked off, which would solve all of that. But I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's take a look at the other bombs and see if there's any other things worth knowing. N cannot get both of these. There's not enough room left over for the 5 blocks to be filled in. In fact, unless N gets neither of these two, we're going to have one filled in row like this, and the rest of it looks like that. Though I guess N could get neither. No. N has to get at least... Ooh, okay. Look at this. N has to get at least one of these two. This guy or this guy. Either way, let's say he does this, for example. He gets this guy, right? That then forces him to potentially get... I think that means no matter what, this question mark is going to get at least one of these monsters. I don't think there's any way for the question mark to not get at least one monster in this particular puzzle. Cool. what does that tell us? Let's imagine for a second. Let's say we get them both in this direction, right? That satisfies both of these 8 columners. Potentially. And that would look like that, which is very funny if true. And then what, like this? Oh no, we can't have that actually. Here, take a look. Let me reset to show you. We can't have. Okay, we basically can't have this, where n goes like this, right? Because that creates this setup. You have to have it fill like this, and then what? You're guaranteed to get this guy. And n just gets neither. Oh wait, you totally can have that. What am I saying? No, nothing wrong with that. Okay, never mind. Go like this. Let's move past this one for the time being. I'll approach it later on again. Oh, not a absolutely massive one like this. Though, hey, we've got immense symmetry here to help us out. This doesn't seem so bad. Because, I mean, just like looking at this... Did I click the right one? Yeah, this feels just like when we had a while ago. Very similar. Okay. A and B. Does every single one have A, B, X, and Y? A, B, X, and Y? Yeah, they all have A, B, X, and Y. And there's 9 monsters per little grid. Is it possible for... I think the first thing to check is to see if it's possible for... What is our priority? I mean, I think we got to figure out where it is or isn't possible for numbers to be certain values. Like here, for example, the most that B or A can be is 4, based on this particular... Oh, no, B... No, B could, actually. I need to not forget these blocks in the middle that are making all these numbers +1, right? Or -1, basically. I thought we would have 3 left if I put down... Yeah, I thought there'd be 3 possibly in this grid, but no, only up to 2 are possible in this grid. Which means... okay, back to this. B can be at most 4, which means... Is there anywhere where B is possibly more than 4? No. But A is possibly 5 here. We know that can't be the case. We know that A will be at most 4. So, if A is any value... Is it reasonable for a number to be 0 here? Let's say... Oh no, none of them can be 0. Because if there's 0... No. B could be 0. The only one that can possibly be 0 is B, because every other value will be locked into its little hole in the corner. if it's 0. Because we have to put bombs there, we have to put walls there to stop the bombs from hitting the monsters. Therefore, B is, I think because B is the only one that can be 0, B basically has to be 0. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, because if every number is numerical value, let's say y is 4, a is 3, b is 2, x is 1, that's 4 plus 3 plus 2 is 1, that's 10. That's not going to work. We need to have 4 and 3 and 2. We need to have one of them be equal to 0. And that equal to 0 is going to be the variable b. So we know just off the bat something like this to stop b from hitting those monsters and to give it a way to kind of wiggle out of the corner here. We also know, at least in these contexts, this. Sorry, I'm getting very scattershot here. Let me clean up my act with what all this b stuff implies. Well, x is at least 3 based on this. Therefore, x also has to be this here and that there. Okay, great. I feel like that's kind of a lot to figure out. That feels good. X is 3. Is it possible for A to be 4 and Y to be 2 in every situation? We could also, I guess, have it so that X is, here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, cool. I wonder what the next number has to be. For me, okay, let's think about it. Let's say A is this guy and Y is like 5. Is that possible everywhere? Yeah, Y can be 5 in every case and A can be 1 in every case. I think it's actually very symmetrical what the options are for A and Y in every single situation. Well, we know Y has to get this group here, so Y is equal to at least 2. Yeah, based on that alone, we know Y is equal to at least 2. So, Y is not like 1, for example. Y is 2 here as well. Y is 2 here as well. A has to be at least 1 as well. So they're all a number, which to me means it's probably 4, 3, 2. Yeah, it's going to be 4, 3, 2, and none of them are 5. So how do we make 4, 3, 2? I think we make 4, 3, 2 by making x equal to 3, a equal to 4, and y equal to 2. That said, can x be 4 in every case? Yes, he can. Can a be 3 in every case? Yes, he can. Y is already 2 in every case. Is there a reason to believe that beyond just vibes, though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're 1 away from solving this particular row, as in putting blocks everywhere here. Are there any other obvious bomb rules or monster interactions or anything of the sort? No, I don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Figuring it out, figuring it out. I mean, I don't want to go off my hunch here. Okay, either way, we know A is going to be equal to this group of 3. I don't think... Oh no, Y could be 5. Could Y be 5? Let's say Y is 5. What's wrong with Y being 5? Y is 5 there, Y is 5 here, Y is 5 there. And Y is 5 here. Is there a problem with Y being 5? No, which means that we can't just rush into y being 2 or y being 5. I don't like this anymore. Hmm. I am now much more unsure of what my next move is or ought or should be. Okay, is y at least equal to 1? Oh, we haven't made y equal to anything yet. Oh, what am I doing? Look at a here. A is equal to at least 1 based on this. But if a is more than 1, it has to be equal to 4 here. That means no matter what, a is all of these 1s, and then if it's more than 1, great. We'll just add that in later by making all of them become equal to, like, 4. Wall there, wall somewhere in there. Any other known wall spots? There's a wall spot. Okay, great. Now all that's left, I think, is figuring out which one. Oh, y has to be equal to 2 as well. I think y has to take care of these guys, which blocks off like that particular group. Then we'll just figure out which whether a or y gets ownership of these middle guys here. Great, perfect. We know that there has to be an open spot here, so the x can get out like so. Anything similarly true around here? Any blocked off friends? 1, 2, 3. No. What are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not quite sure what the next. I'm so sorry. I missed this completely solved column. That's a big help. A solved column which tells us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we're so close to solving that particular row. But I think we now are solving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do solve this row. Huge. Which, does that solve anything for us? I don't think so. But airspaces are much more important to solving rows than blocks are. But any piece of the puzzle is still always good to have fit in. Oh, we do know this now, because they have to, the two sides of this particular block have to get through in the middle. That's not true. They can get through over here as well. Well, we know one of these has to be open so the slime can get out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 with the extra block the slime has to escape from. It's either here or here. I believe, yep, that solves the rest of that column for us, because that leaves exactly enough room for one more block to go there or there. Great. Does that solve any other columns for us? I think the same thing is true here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the sixth airspace is going to go either here or here to allow the slime to escape. Therefore, the rest of these are blocked off, which solves that column for us. Which then solves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, not quite yet, but we're getting close there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. Well, we're getting close. This has to be open because otherwise the bee can't get out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, no. That's kind of a different way. This has to be open as well to make sure that this group can get out through there. Where are some other potentially vulnerable columns to being totally annihilated? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not quite. Oh, this has to be exposed like that to make sure that this X can get out, which goes there, which means that's blocked off to finish that column, or that row, I mean. And then you have to go there for the same reason, to allow this X to have a whole sneaking path through. Great, does that solve the rest of this? No, it does not. But we're getting close, which again is all we can really ask for. Yeah, We'll skip this one for the time being and move on to the next one. Hopefully figuring out that one shortly. Okay, slimes. We have to have a block somewhere in here to stop these two slimes from touching. So those are both open. Oh, we have variables. X and A and Y and B and A. 3 A's, 1 B, 1 X, 1 Y, and then 12 monsters. What is the most every variable can be? X can be a ton, Y can be a ton, B can be a ton, A can be at most 3. Is there any world where we would want A to be 3? No, because if A is 3, then all of this gets blocked off and no one can get that guy. Therefore, A is 2 at most. Is there any reason that we don't want A to be 2? If A is 2, if A is 2, you have to get that guy. Does it block him? Does it block any other bomb from getting anything that they want to get? I don't think so. Okay, A can be 1 or 2. Cool. And the only monsters that the A's have to get, X and Y cover those. A's exclusively cover this bomb, or this monster, and this monster. If this A doesn't get this monster, no one else will. Therefore, this A has to get that monster right there. For similar reasons, if we put the block here, this all gets used like that. Therefore, that's open, that's open. And then one of these two has to get this monster in the middle, because no one else can or will. Interesting here with how this works here. What is the minimum number that B is guaranteed to be? B is going to be 1 at least, obviously. But B can be up to 3. B can't get all of them. B can get either all of these, or all of these with that guy, or only get this guy. But if B is here to any capacity, then all of these get a hit. But B has to be here to some capacity, no? Because how else do we stop, these guys from intersecting? I guess if we put B here and here... Oh, we could put like 2 there, never mind. Okay, we're good. I lied. As I'm apparently known to do. What else is worth knowing up here? Let's say A gets this guy. We have to stop Y and X from hitting him, which would require 2 walls. Therefore, A is not getting him. A is blocked from that. Same thing here. We have to stop Y and X from hitting him, which would require 2 walls. Therefore, there's a wall there. Therefore, this guy is going to be gotten no matter what. It already was the case, but... Oh, B has to get this guy, by the way. I just noticed. Yeah, B has to get this guy. X or Y has to get this guy. What's next? We'll find out. Well, if all that's the case, then what else do we know? I no longer feel it is possible for A to be equal to 2. Let's say A is equal to 2. Get this guy gets these guys, but he can't, because then who's going to get this monster here? So he leaves one open there and gets this guy instead. This guy can only get 1, therefore A has to be equal to only 1. Blocked off there. There'll be a block here as well, somewhere to stop this A from getting that guy. Therefore, all this is open. You're blocked, you get him. X has to get him. And then if A's getting that guy, you're getting him. Block, block. Then therefore Y's getting that guy. And is blocked somewhere in there from getting the rest of the guys. You're blocked from touching that slime section over there. B, you have to get that guy. That's all open. And then let's look at the variable counts to solve the rest of it. Oh, here's something. We can't put a wall here because then this slime will touch this slime like that. So that's open. Same thing here. That's open. Let's look at variable counts to solve the rest of this. Oh, same thing here. If this is like that, then they touch... Oh, no. No, that's not true. If it's here or here, they touch. If it's... That's acceptable for now. That's okay. B is 3. A is 1. X is 2, and Y is 2 currently. We can't allow Y or X to become 3. If we do this, Y becomes 3, which, no, Y is only 2, Y is only 1 right now because B gets that guy. Never mind. If we do this, Y becomes 2, and X becomes, Y has to get at least 1 to stop from being, Y equals 1 right now, A equals 1, we have to have Y equal at least 2 to stop that from happening. X can be 4, and Y can be 4. Either way, that's totally fine. We don't have enough to solve that particular spot yet. What else do we know? Let's look at where the bombs are falling and see if we can't stop any further... Oh, that's a solved row. Great. That's solved, that's solved. And that's also all solved. Y is equal to 4, that's blocked. We can now look at these two slimes. This slime can't touch this slime, so we need to put walls there and there to stop them from doing exactly that. That'll solve this section here. That'll solve not much else quite yet, but we have time still. You have to go there. We have to have all these be open air, because if it's blocked like that, then the slime will touch through there. Therefore, all of those look like that. It's blocked there. Yippee. There's a block there as well to finish that row off. Block, block, block. You go like that. You go like that. You go... Oh no. Oh no. How do we solve that situation? How about no? Wait, we can't have that because then would we put... Did I screw this up somehow? Fewer than 3 blocks wrong. Okay. That's fine. I screwed up somewhere, right? What? Oh, it's a separate group. Oh, I thought that the slime on the bottom right had to connect with the slime at the top left. Oh, okay. Okay, that's way better. Huge. Let's move on to the next level. Oh, it's a big one, too. Ugh. I'm just not ready for that one. Let's do a smaller one first. It's been a long session. I don't want to do a huge one right now. Those ones always are very intimidating. I feel like my brain just kind of turns off when I look at them. You have to go like that. And then we solve that entire row like that. Perfect. What's the trick for this level? There doesn't, like, appear to be one. But we do know that each of these monsters is going to correspond to one of these slimes. Which one? Who knows? We don't know yet. It's natural to assume they'll connect like that in some way, but no matter what, each of these slimes is currently in danger of being hit by the bomb with which it's obviously corresponding. For example, this guy, if we connect like that, the bomb will just hit like that, and that's no good. The slime has to get out this way or this way. If we fill up the rest of these, yep, exactly as I thought. There's exactly enough to leave just one space for him to escape. Same is true here. Same is true here? No, same is not true there. Neither is the same true there. But we do know that these are open because there has to be one wall in here to stop these two bombs from colliding. Yeah, we know that one of these has to be open and one of these has to be open to allow for connections to occur. Therefore, all of these are walls. You have to be open? That was the whole thought, just you have to be open. We're now looking at snaking up and around like this, potentially, for our friend over here in the corner. We now know the same thing is true here. We have to have... Actually, no. I'm lying. I was about to be profoundly wrong there. Oh, here's something. Yeah, looking at this. The 5, there's 3 airspaces left somewhere in this particular 5 section. Oh, but there's only enough room for one more wall here. And this wall absolutely has to block off... well, something. Oh no. Oh no, I'm stuck. Okay. Let's say our friends go out like this. Does that cause any obvious problems? No, that actually blocks it off perfectly like that. How about this? Yeah, that seems fine too. Is there like an immense problem with doing like this instead? No, not really. And I have everything right up to this point so far. Let's say I do this. That's blocked off perfectly. let's say I do... Wait, no, I don't want that. I want this to be blocked off at least once. Are all of our friends blocked off at least once from the surroundings? Yes, except for this guy. We still need a block somewhere in here to... Here's something. We need to have 2 blocks in a row to get up like this. Otherwise, we do like this, for example. No, it's not going to work because then that'll be blocked off entirely. We can't put the blocks here because, you know, they'll be blocked in like this, and then we had to have a block there, and then boom, the bomb hits the slime like that. So there's some blocks there. Now we know one of these 2 is going to be the opening for the slime to get access to this monster. Therefore, this and that. Oh, I lied. Oops, I thought that was 4 air spaces, not 4 walls. Me classically misinterpreting what's happening strikes again. Ugh, what do I do here? What do I do here? Is there any problem with having like this open, for example? And that? Yeah, there is. If we put this here, then one of these has to be open, and then boom. It's closed off otherwise. And that's like this. Or we end up like this, and then what's the point? Yeah, those have to be walls there as well. Now that can't be the wall. This has to be open. And all the while, the possibility of this being the guy seems all the less likely, because now if we go through here, 1, 2, we collide. The only way to not collide with him is to go down like this instead and block off like that. Therefore, we're looking at this. Yeah, we're looking at this instead. You go like this, you have to go there as well. And what's next? I'm not quite sure, but that's a pretty good start. We could theoretically... No, there has to be a wall somewhere in here. If the wall's here, he goes here. If the wall is here... He goes like that, theoretically. The wall's like that. No impact. Okay. We can't really figure out where the wall's going to be in this 4 spot until later. How else do we get our friends? If this is a open spot, then one of these guys... Okay, basically, look at this. We have to have one guy escape like this, one guy escape like this. Either way, there's 2 blocks here, 2 blocks, or 2 open spots here, 2 open spots here, and the rest gets filled in. We have to have both of them use 2 spots to get out, therefore that has to be blocked off. If this is used as an open spot, he only has 1 to escape with in either spot. Therefore, that's a wall. If that's a wall... That's the whole thought. If that's a wall, dang. Are there any possibilities of making slimes touch at this point that are that we need to be wary of? I don't think so. One of these has to be open. One of these has to be open. That's a wall there as well. One of these is a wall. if this is open, what does that entail? That entails that all this is blocked off, and that seems a bit extreme. If we have this open, though, I think all this will be blocked off either way. So either this is all blocked off or that's all blocked off. This can pretty comfortably be blocked off. If we block off all this gets opened, and then we have walls like that. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Or at least I have no reason to believe that's the case. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, we know that this has to be a wall because we can't have this guy extend to there, for example. That's just a wall. No doubt about it. That tells us... Hmm. If this is like that, then yeah, that's not controversial. What do we do if this? If we do this, go up like that, we block that off. No real issue, I think, right? But just because it can be that, oh, those are open. I hadn't noticed that. This row was solved, and that's open now. Gotcha. Therefore, if that's open, then I think we have to... Well, no, we have to go up like this. We have no real choice but to go up like this. I just realized... Okay. I just realized if we're going to have one of these guys get up like this and not go down below both, we have to go up here with this guy and like this. That has to be how we solve this because... Oh, no. What? No, that's not how that works. I have 3 plus wrong. Oh, man. Oh, well, yeah, that can't be, that has to be open. What am I doing? Let's say we put this guy here and go up like that. That's entirely blocked off. No real problem, right? If we do this, is that a real problem? No. If we go 5, just counting numbers again, like a madman. Okay, we know the last 2 of these guys are going to go like here and here, or like here and here, or like they're going to block off these guys is the point. we can't really have them go there because then they'll just connect like that. We could have... No matter what. If we have this guy go up and go like to the left. Oh, we can block like that. Okay, never mind. How about down here? What can we learn from this section at the bottom? One's going to be open here, one's going to be open there. We can't just do that though because there's only two bombs. There's only one wall left in this section here. We need to enter through here, I believe. Because if we do this, then it's like that, and then we have that open, and then that blocks off like that. So no, this has to be open, that has to be blocked off. Open can't be open because that's too many open spaces. That's already too many open spaces, actually. I think we need to do it like this. Open, open. Need to have another one there. Open, open. Well, we can't have this go here because then they connect like that, which is no good. So they connect there. Wall there. Wall there. Wall there. All this is open. We're going to have a wall here so that whoever connects down here has a field day. That's like that. That's like that. That's open like that. That's a wall there for sure. Maybe here, actually. We'll find out soon enough. It's like that. And then we figure out who it's going to be. Ah, oops, that goes there. Huge. Oh, tremendous. Tremendous. Okay, let's do one more because we have a bunch of unsolved ones here. That should round out the row pretty easily. Okay, it has to be a wall there and a wall there to stop the bombs from colliding. The exact same thing is true here and here, all just in the name of stopping collisions. We can't really have, like, this... okay, basically it's either going to be this, or the exact same thing, but all horizontal, like that, etc., etc. Which means we can't, for example, only have one of these blocked, because the other one will go through, and then what? We have these guys attack? No, they'll double attack. Therefore, both of these have to be open. Or no, we could have walls there. Never mind. I got hasty there. What else can we know about these particular puzzles, though? If we do this and this and this and this, are there any obvious problems posed? No, that actually lines up really nicely with the 5 there. And with the 6 here. How about with this side? Does that cause any problems? No, it lines up perfectly again with this 6 and this 6. So the lining up thing isn't the problem, or isn't a real consideration. They line up either way. I don't really know what to... oh, that's solved. That's solved. I'm so sorry. Those were just both solved. Oh no, what am I doing? 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 That's only if we have these like that. Same thing goes here. If we have this, then both of those are solved. Is that a problem in any way? I mean, they all get connected, if that's true. If that's not true, do they all still get connected? Yeah, they all get in the middle and then they all connect. Okay, great. Let's examine the vertical possibility again. Goes like that. Goes like this. Goes like that. That's all like this. Oh, I just think I'm just solving the guess now, which is unfortunate, but hey. Oh, we're already this far. It'd be stupid. Not stupid. It's not worth my time to turn around. Yeah, okay. Great. What a limp solve. I'll do one more to rectify that mistake. Not that mistake, but that easy solve. $10, question mark, question mark. They're going to have the same number of tiles in each question mark. We know for... Wait. Well, those have to be completely solved. Yeah, those are just completely solved. They make separate zones. Question marks can't fool me. Those are just additional 10s. Oh, but that makes a small little grid here, which is fun. With the small little grid, we know this guy has to get both of them, like that. Which tells us that's open and this is open because there's only one more bomb in this particular row or column to stop those bombs from colliding with these guys here. We also know that this is open because only one more bomb can stop a collision here. One of these bombs will hit that monster, therefore this guy and this guy can't hit that particular monster. Here, one of them... I don't know about that part yet. That's totally blocked off, which means you're getting him, you're getting him, you're getting him. Anyone could get him. We don't know yet who's going to get him. But you're blocked. And you're blocked. Yay. Okay, any other major bomb rules or monster rules to work through? That's pretty nice. That has to be open to stop that from being locked off in the corner. Same goes there, that has to be open. Which solves that entirely. Which now tells us... Oh, who knows? But... we do know this guy can't be blocked off because he'll be in the corner, so... Wall, wall... Wall... Open, open... Open... Wall, wall, wall... that has to be open to stop that from being blocked off. Those are both walls as a consequence. What's left? Like that. That's a solved row. Nice. You're blocked there. You have to be open to allow the bomb to get out. You're blocked there. Huge. I've still got it. Don't let any of the flukes. Don't let that last level, that was a fluke. That was a guess that worked out right. Tell you otherwise. I've still got it. This game is fun, if only when you win. Thanks for watching. I will catch you next time where we will finish up. Oh, did not mean to do that. Oops. We will finish up row 9. See you next time. Ciao.